As we can see here, we're looking at and talking about future trips. We use going to for things that are already planned or scheduled. So let's take a look at a few examples here. The first one, I'm going to Switzerland tomorrow morning, right? So easy one, I'm going to, and then of course a place, right? The next one here, I'm going to visit the Eiffel Tower on the Monday. Now, this is interesting, right? You can see that we used on the Monday. Here, this means that, of course, maybe we have a week's trip. Maybe we will go to Paris on the Thursday, and then we won't go to the Eiffel Tower until the Monday. So we use the Monday because there is only one Monday in our week. The next one, we're not. We can use this also for the negative side, right? We're not going to take the bus. We're going to take the train. So if you've definitely 100% planned not to do something, then you can, of course, use we are not going to as well. So these are all good for using when something is planned or not planned, right? So yes, we can use those ones there. Fantastic. All right, so going to is for planned things, planned events, planned trips, basically anything, right? So then using I will or I'll. I think it's important for us to use the contracted version because that is the most common, I'll or will, etc. So most commonly we would say I'll, but you can use I will, that is no problem. Where do we use this, right? So this is used for quick decisions. This is used when we don't have much time to think about something, right? So let's use this as an example, right? It's really hot in here, okay? Okay, I'll turn on the AC, right? Air conditioner. So as you can see, right? Okay, I'll turn on the AC. It was a fast decision. It was very quick, right? We didn't plan it. It was just something came up. Someone is hot. Therefore, I'll turn on the AC. So we made that decision in a short time. We didn't think about it. The next one, you can use I'll open a window or I'll open the window. Right? Either one is okay. If there's only one window, we would use the. If there are many windows, we can use a. Right? Very easily used in that sense. Okay. So let's take a look then at the next part. All right. So also will is used for future plans, future trips as well, right? So we can use will for future actions that are decided at the time of speaking, right? We're not sure, okay? So this is again a very quick decision, and you're not expected to have pre-planned this answer. So, for example, what are you going to do tonight? Well, I didn't really think about it, right? So, I think I'll watch a movie and order a pizza, right? But is it really something that I've planned? No, it's not. It's just something that I've just thought about right now. Can it change? Of course, yes. These are easily changed because they are not planned, right? So maybe I go home and I don't want a pizza. Maybe I'll go home and I want to cook. So it can change quite quickly and quite easily. These are just thoughts that we usually use in the moment of now. Another example, are you going to Steve's party later? I won't have time. I have to finish this report. So as you can see here, we use won't, right, for the negative. We can use positive, I will or I'll, but negative, I won't, I will not, right? We generally use the contracted version when we're talking about negatives. I won't have time. I have to finish this report. So again, did I plan on not going? No, I didn't. Maybe my report is taking longer than I expected. Therefore, unfortunately, I won't be able to go. Very disappointed. But yes. So as you can see there, those are just, I would say, the kind of easy way to see the difference between going to and will. We're going to dive deeper, is a great phrase to use, into these in just a moment. However, before we do that, I will punch my microphone. And I didn't mean to do that. Sorry if it sounded strange. But yes, as you can see, we're going to use some other phrases like probably and possibly. And now we're going to dive into things a little bit more deeper and more interesting. I would say using going to and using will, that is the fundamentals, the kind of like the easy part of it. I want to now kind of give you guys more natural expressions to be able to communicate and express yourselves in a better way. So as you can see here, we've got probably and possibly, right? So we can use these examples here to express uncertainty about something. Basically, we are not really sure if it will or will not happen. We don't know. So when we use probably and possibly, it's great because it's expressing ourselves more naturally. So let's take a look here. When we use the positive form of probably and possibly, we generally use the contracted form of will, right? But before that, we use the subject, right? So I becomes I'll, we becomes we'll. Subject plus I'll, we'll. And then the adverb, probably or possibly, okay? So, for example here, all right, we can use this one here, of course. Are you going to meet Pete when you're in London? I'll, so as you can see, subject, I, and then contracted version of will, I'll probably meet him on my last day, if he's not busy. This one is, of course, using it in a positive, right? I'll probably meet him on my last day. Is it going to happen? Possibly it will, probably it will, but we are not 100% sure. We don't know. That's why we can use will plus the adverb probably. Another one. Where are you going to buy your souvenirs? We'll possibly go to the local markets, right? Yes, we'll possibly. Are there any local markets there? I don't know. Maybe. If there are, I'm going. If not, then I won't. But yes, we can use we'll possibly go to the local markets. Again, we are not sure. All right. So yes, in that sense, it's something that we are not really certain about. So we can use these for pretty much anything. Yeah. Basically, if your friends are talking to you and they're asking you about your weekend, what are you going to do this weekend? I don't really know. I'll probably go to the park and walk the dog. But I haven't decided yet. So I don't know. Can it change? Yes, of course it can change. Is it a planned event, a planned activity? No, it's not. That's where it's great for us to use if we are not sure, if we are uncertain about it. Now we can always use them with the negative as well, right? If we can use them with a positive, we can also use them with the negative as well. So in this case, we use the negative form. Basically, we use the subject followed by the adverb, then using the contracted the contracted form of will not. So it's subject and then probably, possibly, and then won't, right? Subject, adverb, won't, right? Take a look at this example. Are you going to visit Manchester? We probably won't have time to visit Manchester, right? As you can see, we probably won't. Again, here you're using the negative form, of course. So the next one here. Will you go to Disneyland? Right? I possibly won't because it's a little expensive, right? So I possibly won't because it's a little expensive. So again here, you can change them around, right? I could say I probably won't because it's a little expensive. Are you going to visit Manchester? We possibly won't have time to visit Manchester, right? Either one is okay to use. However, I would say that personally, I use probably more often. That is just my preference. Some people may have other preferences, but for me, I often use probably. It's just something that I've naturally adopted over the years. It's probably one of my, again, there we go, my favorite ones to use. So it just comes naturally to me. I don't really use possibly so much. All right, cool. Okay, so the next part then is using this one here, hopefully plus will. Now, hopefully plus will is another great one to use because this gives you the chance to basically express something that you want to do, but you are not sure it's possible, right? This is usually because of some other factors, right? Yeah, we can we can say hopefully plus the subject plus will, right? So for example, hopefully I will, right? We could invert it. I will hopefully. That's okay as well. But sometimes, or most of the time, we would say hopefully and then subject plus will. What are some of the factors that I think can contribute to this? They are, or they could be, the weather, right? Availability. What do we mean by availability? Tickets. Yes, right? If you want to go to an event and you need to get a ticket, probably limited tickets, right? So if you try, but you cannot get it, then it's not your fault. You cannot change that, right? It could be a season, the seasonal event, right? It could be the time has changed. So sometimes these factors are not in your control. So let's take a look at an example. Are you going to watch a football match when you go to England? It's a good idea to try, by the way. Yeah, hopefully we'll watch one of the top teams. We have to buy tickets when we get there. So in this example, again, it's looking at a ticketed event. So we don't know. Is it sold out? As you can see, is if the event has limited availability, you have to wait and see. You can try, but if you cannot get a ticket, then, oh, it's a shame. But hopefully we want to try and get something, right? So let's have a look at another example here. I'm planning to. Okay, so this one is a good one as well, right? So we could use this as kind of a replacement for going to. But it's not as strong as going to, right? When we're talking about using I'm planning to, this means that we are still kind of unsure. We're not 100%, right? And it could change at any time. So it's not a direct replacement for I'm going to. So it just means that there is a plan that you're maybe going to do. So here, for example, right? What are you doing this weekend? I'm planning to take the dog for a walk along the beach. Nice. That's a great plan. Can it change? Of course. If it starts snowing, do you really want to go to the beach? Not particularly, right? So yes, we can use that one there. The next one here, we're planning to go to as many museums as we can. So that's a great one. There's no specific number. Like we are going to 300 museums. That's just not possible. But we can say we are planning to go to as many museums as possible. It doesn't mean that there's a specific plan. It could mean 10. It could mean 5. It could mean 8. Who knows? Yeah. But within the time, we want to visit as many as we can. And the next ones that we have, I think, are also incredibly useful. I might and I'm thinking about. Again, These are not as strong as, for example, I'm planning to, or for example, going to, or I will. These will express again that you're just having an idea, but again, you are undecided. When we use might, it's very much, I would say, 50-50, right? I'm thinking about, again, it could be 50-50 as well. There is no real certainty to anything, right? So in this case here, I might stay in Vancouver for 1 week. I'm not really sure, okay? So yeah, we can use that one. Maybe I like Vancouver, so I stay for 1 week. Or maybe I don't like Vancouver, so I want to leave after 1 day. So yeah, there's a real uncertainty to it, right? As you can see here, I'm thinking about staying at the Ritz, but we'll have to see. Yes. I can think about it, but I cannot afford it. It's so expensive to stay at such a wonderful, luxurious hotel. All right. So yes, okay. The next part is using this all together in a long answer. So I wanted to prepare this long answer just to show you that we can put lots of different ideas together. So let's take a look. We've put in here some, if not most of, the vocabulary. I lost my train of thought then. Vocabulary and phrases that we've just looked at. So let's take a look. Where are you going on holiday? In England, we say holiday. America, they say vacation. We are going to London for 2 weeks in July. I can't wait. We are going to visit all of the famous sites, and hopefully we'll see the changing of the guard outside Buckingham Palace. It looks amazing. We probably won't have time to visit Scotland, though, because we'll possibly stay in the Cotswolds for a few days to escape the hustle and bustle of the city and just chill out. We've used, of course, going to. We've used here as well, we will, or hopefully we will. Again, we probably won't, right? We'll possibly, okay? So just to express ourselves in different ways, you can see in this example, it flows much more naturally. So for example, we can use this one. What are you going to do at or on the weekend? Or what are you going to do for spring vacation, right? For summer vacation. Notice actually in this case, we use either at or on for the weekend, but when we're talking about a seasonal holiday, we usually use for, right? For Christmas holidays, for New Year, right? So we would use those ones there. What are you going to do for, as I said, the holiday? Are you going to, right? Using a closed question, right? Are you going to Buckingham Palace? Yes. Will you as well, right? You can use either one, right? Will you try fish and chips? Or will you try sushi? Okay, any of those are okay for us to use. Who are you going with? What are you going to do there? So using these as follow-up questions, right? Why? Why are you going there? Uh, I don't really like this question so much. Um, you have to be careful of how you how you ask why, right? Um, I would say that you have to ask it in a more sort of questionable way. Like you're inquisitive. You want to know, like, oh, why? Why are you going there? Right? Why are you going to New York? It's interesting. Um, so you have to ask it in a more intriguing way because it can come across a little bit rude. Why? Why are you going there? Oh, well, I'm sorry. should I not go there? Yeah, it can be a little bit strange sometimes if we ask it in a more direct manner. Okay, cool. The next one, you could use this one to kind of mellow it out a little bit. Why did you decide to go to yes? So let's say you're planning on going on holiday and you decided to go to Hawaii. Oh, why did you decide to go to Hawaii? Oh, because we want to visit many volcanoes. And we are planning on hiking up one of the big volcanoes in Hawaii. So you can ask it in a more friendlier way, which is good, right? Not so direct. Okay, let's take a look at an example conversation here. What are you going to do for spring vacation? Oh, I'm going to Kyoto for 3 days, but we might stay a little longer because we are thinking about going to Nara as well. Nice. Who are you going with? I'm going with my friend from high school. We're going to visit all of the old temples and shrines. That sounds great. Are you going to visit Debbie? We'll probably visit her on the last day if she isn't busy. Hopefully, we'll go out for dinner together. How about you? What are you going to do for the vacation? All right. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to New York for a week. Really? Yeah, I've always wanted to go. Luckily, my sister invited me to go with her. That's awesome. Will you go sightseeing? Yes, we're going to go to most of the famous places like Times Square and the Statue of Liberty, etc. But we probably won't have time to visit all of them because we are planning to fly to Las Vegas for a couple of days. I'm sure you'll have an amazing trip. I hope the weather is nice for you. Thanks. Have a great vacation. You too. Bye. All right. So it's quite easy for us to look at it in a one-way situation, right? We looked at it in terms of giving an answer for examination purposes, but now we can look at it in conversation and how we can apply it to these different questions and interactions that we have with friends and family. You guys are going to be using the red sentences. I will be using the black ones. So let's give it a try. What are you doing for spring vacation? Okay, your turn. Who are you going with? That sounds great. Are you going to visit Debbie? Oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to New York for a week. Yeah, I've always wanted to go. Luckily, my sister invited me to go with her. Yes, we're going to go to most of the famous places like Times Square, the Statue of Liberty, etc. But we probably won't have time to visit all of them because we are planning to fly to Las Vegas for a couple of days. Thanks. Have a great vacation. All right, awesome stuff. Okay, so now let's go back and we will change, we will swap over the roles. This time I will use the red sentences and you guys will use the black sentences. Okay, so let's go back and switch over. Okay, so this time you will be starting the conversation. So you're starting using the black sentences. Okay, let's give it a try. Please start us off. Okay, go. Oh, I'm going to Kyoto for 3 days. But me what? But we might stay a little longer because we are thinking about going to Nara as well. I'm going with my friend from high school. We're gonna visit all the old temples and shrines. We'll probably visit her on the last day, if she isn't busy. Hopefully, we'll go out for dinner together. How about you? What are you going to do for the vacation? Really? That's awesome. Will you go sightseeing? I'm sure you'll have an amazing trip. I hope the weather is nice for you. You too. Bye. Awesome. Well done indeed. So as you can see there, that was just an example conversation, short conversation that you can have with friends, with colleagues, with classmates, right? This is useful for many situations, talking casually with people there. So very, very well done indeed. Fantastic.